Wow. I didn't hit the go live button. What a fucking dumbass. Oh my God. Well, it is 3:30 in the morning. Exactly. So I need to show the guitar again for people on here. Wow. Okay. I guess I will. Really quick. Holy shit. Okay. So this is my present to me for my birthday, which is tomorrow. This is ESP. This is redundant because I already did this for the past half hour. ESP EC 1000, Les Paul body style, locking tremolo. I think this is a rosewood fretboard. I really can't tell the difference between maple or rosewood or whatever. I'm sure professionals and experts can. Maybe I can, if I really paid attention, I could tell the difference. But yeah, but this thing is the shit. I don't like Les Pauls. I used to own this guitar, not this one, but this brand and model. And I regret selling it, but I had to. But yeah, this is my second hottest bitch in the room, and for $1,000 or $1,100, you're not going to beat this guitar. I just don't see it. You might with an Ibanez. It all depends what you're looking for, but you're not going to beat it. So, oh, we what? Who's oh, we? Oh, I said oh, we. Oh, wow. I meant to say oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. So, anyway, so that's that. Oh, I'm on the night talk too. So, Dwayne threw me up in there. Okay. But, yeah, that's that. I already played it. I don't really want to play it again. You're just going to take my word for it. Awesome fucking guitar. It's a great birthday present, and it makes me happy. So this is my other place when I'm playing this thing. So I can tell you, EC 1000 ESP guitar. There you go. So very fun, really, really high quality build. I mean, this is a damn. Hey, Darren, what's up? Oh, your son's. My birthday's tomorrow too. Well, yeah, tomorrow, March 2nd. My birthday's March 2nd. Not today. I put it wrong in Facebook, but whatever. But thank you. So yeah, this is my. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be my go-to the guitar, and I wanted to buy something to motivate me to pick up the guitar. Because sometimes it's like working out. It's like, fuck, I don't want to fucking work out. You know, I don't want to play guitar. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And I'm teaching myself songs anyway. So there's like 30 songs in here from Van Halen. It's in music and tab. I can read music, but not in a treble clef. So, but I can read all the notes and the rhythms and all that shit, and then the tablatures underneath it. So I'm going to teach myself how to play songs right, or at least how they're written in this book. Doesn't mean they're right, but regardless, I got 2 years of orchestra playing when I was in junior high, and playing the viola, so I can read music. You never forget it. It's like a second language. I mean, some of the stuff, like, this is all useless, but in the beginning here, there's a repeat. It's written in a repeat in this first section, and it kind of threw me for a loop. What the hell is it? See, it's going to make me a liar. I thought it was right here. I think it was right here, but I don't. Right there. But I remember repeat being like that with 2 dots, but maybe not. Fuck, it's been 40 fucking years, so whatever. But yeah, I think that is a repeat. And I know it is because I know the fucking song, but that was a repeat right there. But yeah, it's interesting. When you look at it, you start remembering. It's like riding a bike. Like, oh, okay, blah, 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 blah. Rhythms and note values and slurs and crescendo. Let's see. I don't see any sound like forte or piano. I remember all that stuff. Anyway, whatever. It's all boring shit. But I think everybody should learn how to read music. It's not that hard. But anyway. Okay. Same day cheers. Yeah, that's cool, Darren. Yeah, well, happy birthday to your son, too. So ask him if he wants a trade. If he wants to be 58, he probably don't. I don't want to be 58. Oh, Darren popped into Podbean, of course. I don't know if anybody's in Spreaker. Nope. Yeah, I mean, it's 3:30 in the morning. Really? So, but I just wanted to share that. Don't be alarmed. I'm fucking with the background of StreamYard because YouTube's not working. Oh, what a shocker. Yeah, okay. So well, there's a lot of things going on with me. I don't want to get into this too much, maybe. But since I've been back in Colorado for going on a month, it's weird because for some reason, my divorce and all that stuff keeps coming up. Like, for instance, I was in the gym yesterday and a guy introduced himself in the locker room and said, "I've never seen you here before. My name's Dan," and blah, blah, blah. And I said, "Oh, well, I used to live here 2.5 years ago, went through a divorce. Then I moved because of COVID." Told him the whole story. And he goes, "Oh, well, I'm a retired divorce lawyer." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck, here we go." And he asked me what happened, and I told him. And things keep popping up with that. And it's hard to move on when shit keeps coming up. And then I was talking to Dwayne earlier, and I can't really stress this. I just really can't. I know the camera's on. I'm covering my face. I cannot stress this, man. Chances are in your lifetime, at least once, you're going to experience a sociopath in your life. The problem of it is, it's kind of like being, not that I know how this is, but it's kind of like being spied on, or, well, I know how it is to be spied on, but like from the FBI or CIA or surveilled or whatever. They're there, but you don't know they're there. And that's a sociopath. And unfortunately, you're not going to know it. Just like if you're being watched or let's say, and this is true because I read a book. There's actually a book out there that explains ninjas and how they're real and how people hire them to kill people. And the author of the book makes it very clear that you're not even going to know that a ninja's there until it's too late. Now, a lot of them will, like, you walk into your room and they'll be sitting there in their ninja uniform or whatever, probably with their sword or who knows what. And some of them will tell you that they're going to kill you. It's like, okay. And the only chance in hell you have getting out of that is if you have a really good fine green tea, hot tea. Don't ask me why. I'm just telling you what I read in the book. To not kill you. It's like, okay. Well, I'd be fucked because I don't even green tea. But nonetheless, the point of this is you're not going to know. And there lies in having a sociopath in your life. Now, as long as you don't piss them off or call them out or something to whatever that would be to offend them, or you are onto them, they will leave you alone. But once they target you, you're fucked. You're fucked. I shared a post on Facebook with this expert lady in sociopaths, psychopaths, narcissists. And I was playing it for Dwayne. He was hearing it and he couldn't believe it. I said, I couldn't either. Because when I was being targeted, I didn't know what was happening and I was going insane. And that's what's going to happen to you if you don't identify it. And I think I'm a pretty smart, intuitive guy and I can read people. I had no idea what was going on until my therapist told me. And I'm like, what? So I did my homework on it and just my heart went into my stomach and chills all over my body. I'm like, oh my God. So all I'm going to tell you is this. If your life has been good, whatever that means, and a person, it could be someone you let into the family, it could be a new boyfriend, new girlfriend, a new friend. It's going to be somebody close to you. It's not going to be a total stranger in the beginning because what they're doing is they're sizing you up and surveilling everything and finding out who's close to you, and they're profiling you and they're figuring you out, your weaknesses of your whoever's close to you, and are trying to figure out the situation just in case they need to destroy you. Fucking crazy. By every stretch of the imagination, it's fucking crazy. So I'm going to say this to you. If your life is going good and you have, and this could be a person that's latent, it could be an aunt, uncle, it could be anybody, but it's going to be somebody that's close to you, whoever that is. If all of a sudden you let somebody in or you didn't let somebody in, and all of a sudden people that you're very close to, daughter, wife, whatever, if they start pulling back from you and start getting critical and withdraw, and they're getting more chummy with this new person that you let into your life, you're in fucking trouble. You are in fucking trouble. And what a sociopath does is they joke in what they're going to do. I heard a few things in jest, and all just made everybody laugh, but it was more in humor and jest of what they were going to do to you. So they tell you what they're going to do to you, but they do it in front of everybody, especially the people they're going to use to turn against you. But when I started hearing him, it was a red flag for me. But I just thought, this guy's got a weird sense of humor. No. Things like, oh, I got you all fooled, and countless other ones that I really didn't pay attention to. And things like, well, you better become buddies with me, or I'll take you out of my phone. Ha 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 ha. It's just stuff like that. But you think you're going crazy because you don't think for a moment that people that you trust and even have marriage vows to are going to listen to anybody when they start talking shit about you, even if they got a picture. And if they did, they should have the decency to confront you, but they don't. Because that's how manipulative these people are. So then you start losing your fucking mind. And if you don't identify it by some type of means, whether it's a therapist or you just figure it out on your own, which most people don't, therapists really can't even figure it out. You're going to go fucking insane. Because you'll see hints and connections that this person is causing you problems. So then once you call them out, then the sociopath makes you look like you have a personal problem with them, and now you're victimizing them. So then they use that for your loved ones and to draw you even further away from them and destroy you. And go, see, Tim, blah, 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 blah. See, Tim, blah, blah, blah. See, Tim, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, and it just pisses you off even more. It makes you more outspoken. So all I'm going to tell you is this. If you are losing your grip, and I don't mean that like control. I just mean if you're losing your grip, if you're losing your connections with anybody that's close to you, anybody, wife, husband, son, daughter, mom, dad, anybody that it's going to be the closest people to your heart. And they're drifting away. And somebody new came into the family. I don't give a flying fuck who it is. And they're becoming chummy with your closest hearted people. I would bet my life on it you're dealing with a sociopath. And the thing is, they are so convincing that people still associate and believe this guy, and you're the one that's cast out. It doesn't go away. It doesn't get any better. The only way it'll get better if everybody just casts the person out. And for some reason, they won't. And it just dumbfounds me. They'll give them Christmas gifts, all this, that, do that. But then they will ban you. The sociopath will ban you from any type of family functions because you're the asshole. And for some reason, other family members follow that. I don't know why. It's very disappointing. It's very heartbreaking, actually. And that's the long-term effects of it. But in the beginning, when it's happening, you just don't even know what's happening. And I shared this with Dwayne. So when I was dating, like on the stupid ass dating, which I don't recommend, dating apps or whatever, it'd be at dinner. And of course, the question comes up, so why did you get divorced? And I would be honest because there's really no point in hiding this. I'm all up front and open. I just lay it all on the table because why? Then you know, okay. Why waste anybody's time or hurt anybody and bring out something like this after you're involved? So I just lay it out on the table. And I I got divorced because a sociopath destroyed my marriage and my life. And there'd be two reactions. One would be like they would like put their fork down and lean back and kind of look around and go, oh, okay. And then, of course, it'd be a real short dinner. Then there would be the situation I swear to God to you. I just why would I tell this fucking story? What do I have to gain out of this? Okay. So you're just some people are probably listening to this and go, "Oh my God, this guy's nuts." And I fully understand that. And some people are like, "Oh my God, this is happening to me," or "Yes, this did happen to me and I figured it out." Okay. So whatever. So the second situation would be having dinner, and this lady would ask me, first date, so why'd you get divorced? Well, I let a sociopath into my life, and he got into my wife's head and my daughter's head, and he fucking destroyed me. Then they would look at me, and they would smile. And they would go, same thing happened to me. I'm like, oh, really? And I kid you not. I would say it's at least 30, 40%. I mean, I didn't keep statistics, but it just wasn't one time. And that scares the hell out of me. And then when I run into people, I mean, I could just read people and they're just distraught and destroyed and they're losing their shit. And I ran into a woman, and we kind of got talking about this, and she shared the same thing with me. And a new boyfriend was getting into her daughter's head and ruining and destroying her daughter's relationship with her until she figured it out through therapy. So if you have these type of situations in your life, you better get to a fucking therapist like really, really fucking fast. And even then, it's not going to save. It's just not going to save your relationship or your marriage or your business or whatever. It's going to save you, because there's nothing you can do against these people unless people stand behind you and have your back. And in my experience, that just doesn't happen. Dwayne.
Oh, I didn't even know you knew I was here. I was just calling like
I heard
I was
it.
just
I heard it. It's like a Facebook notification. I hear when you pop in. It pops.
I was staying quiet.
Well, yeah. So you and I talked about this off the air, and then I played that video of that therapist for you for about 5 or 10 minutes, and it's just you just type in how to identify a sociopath, and it should pop up. It's some Indian lady, and it's just fascinating, right?
Well, yeah, and you know what, and do you know what? Here's my thing to this is that the fact of the matter is that a sociopath is made, right?
Mm-hmm.
A psychopath is born.
Yep.
And what that means is a psychopath is born a psychopath, but a sociopath, and even like she said in the video, if you watch it and pay really close attention, a
Mm-hmm.
sociopath is made by certain traumas or deep, extensive trauma.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And if any of you are friends with Tim on Facebook, if not, I will copy it and send it to you. I can actually read it to you. Hold on, see if I can find it. Because if you identify a sociopath in your life, you need to run.
Yep.
Don't stay. Run. Get the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
It's what we both had to do. And
Yeah.
Tim said this. All I can say is, and listen to me, you have at least one of these people in your life. Save your family, job, and your sanity. If any person fits the description, it will be someone in your family or significant other, husband, wife, son, daughter, etc. Anyone that tries to discredit you to your loved ones, physically abuses you, and makes jokes in front of you, they are going to fool, or everyone, they are telling you what they are going to do. They will destroy you. Through your friends and family, they will succeed unless you identify them and call them out.
That's not
And
even.
even then,
Go ahead.
they will attack you even more and seem that you and seem that you are and seem that they are the victim. Look for these people and identify them before you're destroyed, and listen to every word this woman is saying. Save your family and save your sanity. Because if you don't, you may lose both and you won't even know what hit you.
Yep. Swear to God.
You know, and I have a couple people that I can fucking just go like, yo, y'all, like, you just need to get out of my life.
And you know what? That's your decision. And that's what I tried doing to no avail. And I would say this to you, and I've said this to my family members, and I would say it to you. If there's somebody in your life that destroys you, I promise you with all my heart and my life that I will not associate with that person. Why would I want to? But that's not what happens. For some reason, they still stick around and they still got people that associate with them. And I don't understand that. It's like a guy that mass murdered a family member or killed a family member in cold blood, and they get out of prison. I don't know how they would do that. And they get out of prison and everybody befriends them. I'm just like, you know what? You stay the fuck away from me because I'm not going to be your next victim. I don't get it. I just don't understand it.
I don't understand it either.
Well, I want someone to explain it to me. Why in God's name would you want somebody like that in your life? And the only thing I can think of is that they're still not convinced that what you're saying happened. They still think that you're a little bit cuckoo. That's the only thing I can think of.
You know, like, I have one in my life that I'm kind of stuck with for the next 18 years. Well, 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and Tim, you posed a question to me. Well, it wasn't a question, but you stated something, because me and Tim had a long conversation off air about a lot of things, and this came up, was the fact of this: they will get rid of you at any cost. And then I'm not saying, and Tim even says, not saying that they'll kill you, but they'll destroy everything you have from the inside out.
They'll wipe you out of existence without killing you. I don't know how the lady phrased it, but she said it perfectly in the video.
Manipulation. They pull the wool over people's eyes with false charm and put negative thoughts about you in other people's mind. Exactly. And my son's mother did this to my mom and my sister.
Mm-hmm.
And here's my thing. I never knew the difference between a sociopath and a psychopath until today.
Well, I'm looking the video up again now because I might just play as much as I played for you to that point, because this is just mouth dropping. And I swear to God, and I pray, I wish somebody would have played this for me when I was going through this, because you're losing your fucking mind to every extent. Not to mention you're losing your life, your family, your friends, in my case, my business, because I was being destroyed. And I didn't understand what was happening because there was an inside infiltrator getting into my family and nobody would tell me about it, or they didn't even recognize it. But if somebody's going to say something bad about my significant other, I'm going to call them out. But see, then again, I expect people to act like me. I don't know, especially with marriage vows. I mean, bounded by God and vowed in words in front of people and bearing witness that through thick and thin, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. There's no except if a sociopath comes into your life. So that's not a disclaimer or an exception.
No, it's not.
Yeah, but it is though, because I've heard it way too many times and I've experienced it. It's very scary, and some people don't even know it, and they do end up crazy or dead. They end up committing suicide because they're so destroyed and distraught and they can't figure it out. And they might even start believing that whatever they're accused of or how they're being defamed is actually true. It's like, well, it must be true now because all these people are saying it about me, people that I love and care about, and they just end their life. I could see that. And it's not
Right.
you. It's not you.
No. And that's the greatest thing is it's not you.
Yeah. And I like what she said about, most domestic violence or intimate physical, what she called it, because I'm going to play it here for about 10 minutes like I played for you. Chances are that's a sociopath, that they're, they don't feel, there's no emotion. There's only emotion when they're attacked or they're hurt, if that's even possible. But it's got to be very personal, like at their character. But
Right.
They don't care about spreading pain. There's no empathy. There's no sympathy. They just don't. There's no guilt. They don't feel bad when they hurt other people. I don't understand it.
I don't understand it either.
Yeah. Well, this doctor does. So I'm going to play this again because I could listen to this 1,000 times because I pick up, it's like watching a movie and you don't pick everything up in the first time you see it. But I'm going to play this for people. 12 million views. Dr. Ramani, Ramani. I'm telling you something. If there is one person, and I'll bet there's more because they can't figure out what the fuck's going on, just may save your life or save you. I really highly doubt it's going to save your family or your situation. I'm just telling you, because nobody will have your back. And if they do, then you're better than my family was and my friends and my business my customers, because they are so convincing and powerful that it's almost hypnotic. It's the best way to explain it. So if you're losing your goddamn mind and people are drifting from you and starting to turn on you, I can promise you there is a sociopath lurking somewhere. So I'm going to play this again. You want to add anything before I play this?
Nope. I'm going to let people hear the video and then I'll put my part in.
All right. I'll probably stop it at the point where I stopped it with you, and then people can look it up. I don't know how long it is, but you'll get the gist of it when I stop it. And I really encourage people to go listen to this and get your fucking ass to a therapist that knows about sociopathy, because these people are very dangerous. Right?
Right.
Yeah. They're weaponized. Mental warfare to the extreme. Nuclear mental warfare is the best way I can put it. And then you'll be able to spot them in the future. I can spot one after meeting them 3 times. I can tell you if they're a sociopath or at least a psychopath. But I can tell you. But all right, so I'm going to play this. Listen to this if it plays. I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to play the freaking advertisements. Hang on a minute.
No advertisements.
With you
No,
to get your feedback.
Right,
this was told to me by a friend, and she said in college she dated a guy for a year, but the guy started to
This is starting where I left off
on
with you.
kids and uses a lot of muscle.
Yep.
Here we go. Okay, here we go. Sorry. I didn't know I was going to do that.
What is the difference between a sociopath, a psychopath, and a narcissist? Here to answer this intense question is Dr. Ramani. Help us out here.
Well, it's, again, there's a lot of overlap, but the fact is a lot of people are using these terms interchangeably.
And should they be?
They psychopath. No, they shouldn't. They're
Okay.
different things. Okay. One rule of thumb to remember right off the bat: every psychopath is narcissistic, but not every narcissist is psychopathic. Makes sense? There's your key difference. A narcissist is somebody who lacks empathy, is grandiose, is entitled, is constantly seeking validation, is arrogant. It's a disorder of self-esteem, and they have trouble regulating their self-esteem. But when a narcissist does a bad thing, they feel a fair amount of guilt and shame. More shame than guilt, frankly, because they're concerned about how other people view them. Shame is a public emotion. So they don't like being viewed negatively in the public eye or by other people. That's where the shame comes from. But they'll feel a little bad. Like if they cheat on their wife, oh, I probably shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Psychopath's a different animal. They're all of those things except no guilt, no shame. Wow. They don't feel remorse when they do something bad. Wow. So they're great serial killers. Oh. Hired assassins, people who are going to go in and literally sort of gut a business. These are your guys. They're like, I don't care who gets hurt. They'd say that and they'd mean it. Okay, where a narcissist is like, I hope no one gets hurt. Okay. The difference between the psychopath and the sociopath is the one where most people get confused, because the sociopath is a lot like the psychopath. They do bad things and they don't care. Okay. Here's the key difference. A psychopath is born and a sociopath is made. Okay, that's the key. So a psychopath, in fact, we know in the research on psychopathy, which has also been called antisocial personality disorder in our diagnostic manual, these are people who are actually believed to have slightly different autonomic nervous systems. Our autonomic nervous system is actually that part that holds our sympathetic nervous system, which is our fight and flight system. So when our autonomic nervous system for a normal person gets charged up, which it would if we broke a rule, if we did something embarrassing or rude, if we ran through a red light, our heart starts racing. Mm-hmm. We sweat, our pupils get wide, we look around because we're afraid of the consequence. A psychopath doesn't have that same kind of arousal. That's why they're able to lie on lie detector tests. That's how they get away with it. They don't have that same kind of arousal. So where you or I may go on a roller coaster, feel that sense of excitement, we need to get that arousal in a good way. We don't like feeling it when we do something wrong. They don't feel it.
So do they get stressed?
No, not in the same way.
So if they're driving, because if I'm driving and I see police sirens coming behind me, I mean, it is a full on, my gosh, I can't believe I'm going to get pulled over. But a psychopath would see that and go, oh, I'm going to get pulled over.
Well, this could be. They could have a dead body in the trunk and they wouldn't change.
And so they pull over, they get the ticket and they don't care.
No, they don't care.
And they pay the ticket?
Maybe not. They'll even probably get an attorney to get them off or say, yeah, my understanding of your state laws is you can't really be doing this. And they'll be cool as can be.
And this is a difference in their
They're actually how their nervous systems are wired and their brains are. There's actually been interesting research done with PET scans where you can see brain function. And what
not just to clarification, not PET like dogs and cats, PET scans.
Positron emission tomography scans of the brain, which show brain functioning, if you will. And what they see is that the section of the brain that serves empathy, that doesn't naturally light up in them. And you can actually teach them to be empathic for a minute, but it doesn't last. A lot of psychopaths who commit violent crimes end up in jail. And the ones who commit more like white collar crimes, I guess they end up as multi-billionaires because they're willing to do really, really rough stuff in their business and get through like a cartel leader or something like that. Call for the killings of other people. Now, their interesting counterpart are the sociopaths. Psychopaths born. They tend to, their belief is that they may very well have, this might be genetic. In fact, psychopaths often have fathers who have lots of antisocial tendencies. Now, how much of it is learned, how much of it is genetic, it's a little bit harder to suss out. But we do see that there is that difference in your true psychopath. They also tend to have really glib, shallow charm. They tend to be really intelligent. That's why they get away with stuff. If they were
they've learned behavior to assimilate into society.
Oh yeah.
But it's all a facade.
It's all a facade. They're so charming.
So if they're born this way, would a 3-year-old then not get stressed out if it got scared? So that's incredible.
So what we see when we diagnose antisocial personality disorder, which is sort of our diagnostic equivalent to being a psychopath, in order to get that diagnosis, you have to have shown a pattern prior to the age of 15 of things like truancy, violence towards other kids, stealing, skipping school.
And not felt bad about it.
Setting fires. They just do it. They don't care. And that before the age of 15. So it's a long-standing pattern. That's what makes us call them a psychopath or having antisocial personality. Now, This is different than sociopathy.
Yes. Okay.
Sociopathy, they look a lot like the psychopaths. The difference is they were made. So some examples here. The kid who grows up in a really, 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 really rough neighborhood and learns criminality to get by, or learns to be a bully, or gets involved with sort of like the wrong kids and uses a lot of muscle because that's survivalism. But it's not necessarily always comfortable for them. They just learn it. It's the person who grows up with a father who teaches them the business and teaches them how to break the rules. Would they start sweating and have their heart race if they got pulled over? They might. They may not feel so good about it. They'll be a little bit more uncomfortable with it, but in time they learn it. And it's almost like they get trained in not being as aroused by it. Listen, if you broke enough rules, if you lived under certain conditions of lawlessness long enough, you'd adjust to that new world order, if you will. That's what the sociopath does. And so they're the person who someone has said he was actually a great kid until he got to high school. And then it seems like he got in with the wrong kids. That feels more like the sociopath. Wow. Okay, that's almost like a training that might happen from within the family, within their community, within even the job they get, some cases even within some form of military training.
Have you had sociopaths and psychopaths as clients?
Not really. No. They don't tend to come in for therapy. They don't see any benefit to it. The only time you would tend to see psychopaths or sociopaths come into therapy with any consistency is if they were court ordered. So
I thought you were going to say couples therapy.
No, God, no. It's because they're court ordered. So the judge will make that a condition of release kind of thing, or they're within prisons and jails and getting some treatment in there.
This is so incredibly fascinating to me. If a psychopath goes to jail, he isn't upset about going to jail?
In some ways it becomes a cost of doing business. But it's also they're not happy about it. There was psychopaths and to some degree sociopaths don't think about consequences. That's why they pull really penny ante silly crimes like holding up a liquor store. Basically, I need $150. Here's a liquor store. It's open. Let's go get the money kind of thing. So it's like they act first and think later. So they often don't plan in terms of consequences. That's why they have a tendency to lie, cheat, steal, and they tend to have very inconsistent work histories because they're not able to hold a job.
Yeah,
aliases. It's definitely it's more of a griftery kind of a space.
So we've talked in previous videos about how to cope while dating a narcissist. If you find yourself dating a sociopath or a psychopath, is there any coping, or you just got to get out?
You're in trouble. It could actually be a very dangerous.
It sounds like it.
Yeah. In fact, even with the narcissistic piece, I've done research and work in the area of domestic violence, or what's also called intimate partner violence. Most people who perpetrate domestic violence are either narcissistic or psychopathic. And so there's a danger there. In other words, they will dispose of you if you get in their way.
I want to share a story with you to get your feedback. This was told to me by a friend, and she said in college she dated a guy for a year, but the guy started to get just a little weird and they broke up. For the next year, he courted her and did everything she wished he had done the first year. Showed up on time, brought her gifts, blah, blah, blah. They started dating again. He was perfect for a year. They went to Thanksgiving at her family's house. He was perfect to her parents, just became the perfect man for her because he knew what she wanted. And after a year, on the 1-year anniversary, he broke up with her and said, I've been playing you this whole time because I wanted to crush your heart.
Yep.
I am not actually behaving this way, or this isn't real. I've been faking it for a year just so I can crush you.
Yep.
Would that be
That's more psychopathic?
Psychopath.
That's more psychopathic. Or sociopathic is more likely.
But if they have no empathy, then why would they want to hurt somebody?
Because empathy is a positive emotion. Okay. Wanting to hurt someone is a very antagonistic emotion. Wanting to hurt someone at some level might even give them a little pleasure. Power for sure.
It's interesting to me that someone cannot be empathetic, but then want to hurt somebody. Because to me, you would have to have the empathy in order to even know what it's like to hurt somebody.
There's a difference between empathy and understanding. You can understand because it's like, that's why psychopaths make great salesmen, because they understand a person. They can read a person and immediately say, I got his vulnerability. I'm going to make him buy a car. Psychopaths are great salesmen Salesmen for cars, timeshares, all that stuff where they're upselling and almost taking advantage of someone sometimes, making them take on more money and cost of something than they really should. But no, it's that he was able to be superficially charming. Psychopaths and sociopaths and narcissists make great chameleons. They're definitely able to change the situation to get what they want. And psychopaths in particular and sociopaths they view the world as an instrument to fulfill their desires. That's really what they're about, which is what it's awful because they're going to often discard a partner when they don't have much use for them or expect them to have a very specific role. So they may have married her and she may have had their kids. Now she's going to have to put up with their affairs because they want something else. And too bad if you don't like it. This is the new world order and I will destroy you in court. It's that kind of thing.
That is insane.
Yeah, it's chilling.
I want to leave it right there. I have learned more about sociopaths and psychopaths than I ever thought possible. Make sure you check out as well our discussion about narcissism with Dr. Ramani. Thanks again for being here. For more information on all things mental health, make sure you go to medcircle.com. There you can curate your own list of your preferred mental health topics. They'll be delivered to you exactly when you need it. I'm Kyle Kittleson. Thanks for watching.
Okay.
Boom.
So what's your reaction to that? That's the whole thing.
Just, it's mind blowing.
Have you ever heard of such a crazy thing in your life?
No.
All right, let me ask you this. Okay. Now, everybody knows this, and you've shared it publicly and personally. So you have been or are going through chemical addiction.
Yes.
You've been physically, sexually abused by a family member.
Yes.
Okay. So put into perspective those horrible atrocities in life challenges and being victimized and compare it to what you just heard.
My father was a sociopath. I became a sociopath.
I know, but compare the two because chemical addiction is hell. Okay. I've never been sexually abused or molested by anybody, so I can't relate to that. Although I don't even want to think about it. I can't comprehend it. This I have been involved in a victim of. And myself being through chemical dependency and everything else and addiction and that and almost dying from it and destroying my life. I am still going to say what I just heard and what I experienced, in my opinion, is even worse than what I did to myself.
Yes.
Yeah. And you said that without hesitating.
Yeah. I mean, I will. And the reason there's a smile on my face when I can sit here and say this and talk about this, and you guys are going to see my kitchen, just my kitchen for a minute. And the reason I can sit here and I can say that, right? Because we put ourselves through that on hell, right? We as addicts or alcoholics, okay, put ourselves through that on hell. You know what I mean, Tim?
Yeah.
We put ourselves through that pain, that hurt, and everything else.
Self-inflicted, yeah, right.
Yes, thank you. Self-inflicted. God, I should be in bed right now, but I'm not. I'm wide awake after hearing this for the second time and actually being able to hear it a little bit more clear and not just through your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2. Sociopath. Some people who are hurt by sociopaths, they have nothing to do with it. It's not their fault. Now, I'm not saying it's an addict's fault that they became an addict or alcoholic or whatever you would choose to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that we can realize and we can get help and go like, yo, this is, there's counseling and everything, but normally by the time that they realize that, they're dead. People who are involved with the sociopath, they have more time to get out.
Well, and like she said, they don't like to go to therapy or get any counseling unless it's by court order because they don't think anything's wrong with them.
Exactly.
You're the problem. You're the problem, not them.
Right, exactly. And this is why when fucking and I'm gonna bring this up because Tim, you eventually you're the one who brought this topic up. And this is why I hate that people call addicts sociopaths.
Oh God, no. No. It's not even close.
Exactly. That's where I'm going with this.
Yeah, no.
Because and I'm gonna break the two down for a minute. An addict is someone whose body has become chemically dependent on that substance.
Mm-hmm.
A sociopath, you don't have any fucking empathy or sympathy for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And don't give a fuck if you hurt them or not. Your main goal is to seek them and destroy them and ruin everything they have.
Right.
That's not an addict's intentions.
No. Well, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'll prove it right now. If a person is chemically dependent and an addict and a sociopath, they will be dead. They will not survive.
No, they won't.
No, because they won't go to meetings, number one. But in reality, now that you said this, the only thing that could save a sociopath from sociopathy is a 12-step program in rehab.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there might be a cure for it, or not a cure, a treatment. I mean, you know what I mean. So.
Right. Sorry, trying to cover up the beeping from your ear.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. Which is what saves an addict or an alcoholic.
Yeah. If you're a sociopath and a drug addict, you're dead. I'm just telling you right now, you're dead.
Yeah, you're 100% dead. Like, I swear to God, I have a sociopath in my fucking work.
Yeah, and that's how they can fuck your life up too, which I talked to you about on the phone. But yeah, I believe that.
But here's my thing. Is another great thing about learning about sociopaths is I'm listening to an audiobook. And Tim suggested this audiobook to me.
I did? Which one was it? Oh.
An Interview with the Devil.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Outwitting the Devil. Yeah.
Outwitting the Devil.
Yep.
And I can see where some of the things that man uses that a sociopath would use is flattery, sex, money. So now listening to that and then just listening to that, a sociopath is truly made of the devil.
Yep. Yeah. It's evil. Yeah. Yeah. And since you say that, and I forgot about this, so I was visiting this person that I didn't know they were at the time, and we go into a bedroom of the house that he lives in, and it's hardwood floors, and pulls up a rug, a big ass rug, and guess what was underneath it?
What?
A pentagram burned into the floor.
What the fuck? I'm gonna put you on mute real quick. Somebody use the bathroom, but keep talking. So I want to hear more about this.
That's all to tell you. And he laughed about it. He laughed. Oh yeah, look what we found, because we're renting the house, and this was here. Yeah, my fucking ass, it was there. And if it was there, I would be running like a motherfucker and telling the landlord, "Get this thing out of here, or I'm moving out." But oh yeah, no, haha, look at this. Isn't this funny? Oh, the sign of the devil and a mark of the beast, and it's in a fucking bedroom. That's funny. Ha 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 ha. So anyway, why Dwayne's peeing?
I was peeing.
Yeah.
But at least I had myself on mute.
Yeah, and you have to understand, people are going through this, and in their own mind, they're questioning everything, and they can't figure it out because it doesn't make any sense.
They never. It's not going to make sense, if there's anybody who's listening, that if they have somebody in their life that is identified, that can identify someone like this, and before you accuse someone of being a sociopath, please, for the love of God, do more research.
Right. Yeah.
Please. Because I've been called a sociopath.
Yeah.
Actually, right here on this own network, I've been accused of being I've been accused of being a sociopath.
Yeah, you're not a sociopath. I can, they chill you to the bone and there's nothing but darkness that comes out of them.
You know, and did I have potential growing up as a kid to become a sociopath? Fuck yes.
Well, you were probably one traumatic, not that you didn't have enough, but one traumatic episode away experience from it.
Oh, I've had plenty of traumatic experiences, you know, like I can even talk about the one that sent me on my last relapse for a minute. You know, this one could have sent me down the line. I walked down to go get cigarettes for a buddy of mine, you know, and his mom left. I didn't know. His mom left and said, "Mom, we're going to go hunting. I'm going to grab my gun and stuff and go upstairs and clean it." I walk back in the house. I've been gone for about 7 minutes. And next thing I hear is bang.
Yeah.
Boom. He shot himself. I walked into brain matter and splatter and everything on the wall. That could have sent me to be a sociopath. That could have.
Yeah, I think it's a traumatic experience and an awakening, if you even want to call it that. Even a defining moment in the negative side that just turns you, and
right.
You can't go back. You just can't go back.
Right. And Tim, you could have, after what happened, you know, the conversation we had on the phone, you could have became a sociopath.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If I would have lost my empathy and sympathy and compassion for people, and in my opinion, it's damn near impossible for someone to change their heart. But if you change your heart, that is going to cross you into a realm that you cannot turn back from.
Right, exactly. And the only person that can bring you back from that, and I'm going to go religious because this kind of ties into what I was telling you, Tim, through text message before I called you. You know, is that when God closes one door and he opens the other, sometimes your ass doesn't get to walk through the thing. You get just fucking. You
know who I think was a sociopath or definitely a psychopath from the Bible? And he turned around. Yeah, take a guess. Yes.
Saul.
Yes, absolutely. Exactly. Exactly. Yes. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, Saul was. Do you know what? I want to go grab my Bible here in a minute because it's sitting in my living room, and I have it since you just
go get some Jack Daniels too.
Even though that tastes good, that sounds good as shit.
We're gonna need a drink for this one. I'm just kidding.
When I drink, I don't touch whiskey. That's a no-go. No, Tim, I do what you I do what you do. If I ever drink, like when I was drinking, like doing really good, it would just be a glass of wine and my guitar in my hand.
Yep. Right. Yep.
You know, but look at Paul. I'm not gonna say Paul. I'm gonna say Saul. Let me back up for a minute because there's a difference.
Let's make sure people know who we're talking about because I didn't know who Saul was. It's Paul.
Yeah, it's Saul. Paul. It's the same human, just a name switch by God. It took God blinding Saul for 3 days. Okay, I think it was 3 days.
Yeah.
And somebody putting him in a room, putting mud over his eyes, and him listening to God and going like, "Are you done yet?"
So there is hope, but you have to lose your eyesight so you can hear. Obviously.
Exactly. That's and that
actually see too. But go ahead.
And that's one of the greatest things. I mean, even and I'm going to go back before Saul. Even one of the soldiers that crucified Christ, okay?
Yep.
It took him stabbing him in the side with a spear and watching nothing but water come out. No blood from the body. Nothing but pure water came out. That's what it took for him to hit his knees and go like, I just screwed up.
Yeah, but I think Saul was way more powerful than a soldier stabbing Christ on the being crucified. I mean, Saul was hunting and killing Christians.
I mean, but yeah, look at the sadistic ways that they killed him. I mean, God, they were laughing the whole time that they crucified him.
Yeah, I know I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is Paul had all this power, and he really wasn't a soldier doing orders. He actually enjoyed hunting and killing Christians, and was trying to hunt down Jesus Christ and kill him himself. That's a willful decision.
And yeah, it is. I'm not even gonna lie, and I'm downloading the Bible app right now because
that's
really
not
cool.
following orders. That's you. That was Paul. He wanted to kill Christians and Jesus Christ. He wanted to.
Yeah, but what Saul didn't know that Christ was already dead.
No, I don't. We're getting into technicalities. What I'm saying is I'm positive Paul was a fucking psychopath or sociopath, and Jesus turned him around.
And I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're wrong. But when it came to him losing his eyesight, and I'm downloading the Bible app because, like I said, it's actually really cool outside for once in its life, and it's not like really cold or really hot. And I can stand out here and not freeze my ass off within 3 minutes. Tim, well, you know how that feels.
Yeah, I do actually.
Your weather is the same as mine.
Yeah.
I just got to quit smoking these, but that's fine. So let me pull up the Bible app, and I go into the Bible, and I go into. I know how to use this app just because I downloaded it on a new phone. Okay, so I think it's in Acts 6. Oh, okay. Where are you, Saul?
He's in the book of Paul.
Yeah, which is the book of Acts.
No, I know. I'm just kidding. Whatever. Being a smart ass. So there is hope for at least psychopaths. I mean, we can't diagnose Paul, but.
Okay, so here we go. So we're going to go Acts chapter 9, verse 1. Meanwhile, Saul was uttering threats with every breath and was eager to kill the Lord's followers.
Mm-hmm.
So he went to the high priest. He requested letters addressed to the synagogues in Damascus, asking for the cooperation and the arrest of any followers for the way he found there. He wanted to bring them, both men and women, back to Jerusalem in chains. As he was approaching Damascus on this mission, a light from heaven suddenly shone down around him. He fell to the ground and heard a voice saying to him, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? And now, mind you, the last part I just read is in red. So that is Christ speaking to him.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And he said, who are you, Lord? Saul asked. And the voice replied, I am Jesus, the one you are persecuting. Now get up and go into the city, and you will be told what you must do. The men with Saul stood speechless, for they heard the sound of someone's voice, but saw no one. Saul picked himself up off the ground, but when he opened his eyes, he was blind. So his companions led him by the hand, to Damascus. He remained there blind for 3 days. Now check this. Not only was he blind for 3 days, nor did he eat or drink for 3 whole days. That would drive me absolutely mad.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing in your stomach, nothing to keep you hydrated, no water, no wine.
Nope.
Tim, you
can't see either. So
you can't see, so the only thing you're relying on is your taste, smell, hearing,
Yep.
and touch.
Mhm.
But check this out. Now, there was a believer in Damascus named Ananias. The Lord spoke to him in a vision calling Ananias. He said, "Yes, Lord," he replied. The Lord said, "Go over to Straight Street to the house of Judas. When you get there, ask for a man from Tarsus named Saul. He is praying to me right now. I have showed him a vision of a man named Ananias coming and laying hands on him so he can see again." But Lord, exclaimed Ananias, "I've heard many people talking about the terrible things this man has done to believers in Jerusalem, in the town that Christ was born in. And he is authorized by the leading priests to arrest everyone who calls upon thy name." But the Lord said, Go for Saul is my." Now, check this. Saul is a sociopath or psychopath with narcissistic tendencies.
Correct.
But watch what he says. "Go, for Saul is my chosen instrument to take my message to the Gentiles and to the kings, as well as to the people of Israel," or Israel as we call it. "And I will show him how much he must suffer for my name's sake." So Ananias went and found Saul. He laid hands on him and said, "Brother Saul, the Lord Jesus, who appeared to you on the road, has sent me so that you might regain your sight and also be filled with the Holy Spirit." Instantly, something like scales fell from Saul's eyes, and he regained sight. Then he got up and, check this, was baptized. Afterward, he ate some food and regained his strength. Saul stayed with believers. Check this. The man who was killing these people stayed with them for a few days. And immediately he began preaching about Jesus in the synagogue, saying he is indeed the Son of God. All who heard him, now check, we're talking about a renowned sociopath in the biblical days, preaching about Christ, baptizing. And they asked, "Isn't this the same man who caused such devastation among Jesus' followers in Jerusalem?" They asked. "And didn't he come here? Well, what was the main reason he went to Damascus?
To kill people.
To bring people back in chains to Jerusalem to kill them. And didn't he come here to arrest them and take them in chains to the leading priests? Saul's preaching became more and more powerful, and the Jews in Damascus couldn't refute his proof that Jesus was indeed the Messiah. After a while, some of the Jews plotted to... Now, check this. Now, here's where the Jews got messed up, right? Some of the Jews threatened to kill him. They plotted together to kill Saul. They were watching him for day and night at the city gate so they could murder him, but Saul was told about their plot. So during the night, some of the other believers lowered him in a large basket through an opening in the city wall. When Saul arrived in Jerusalem, he tried to meet with the believers, but they were all afraid of him. They did not believe he had truly become a believer. Then Barnabas brought him to the apostles and told them how Saul had seen the Lord on the way to Damascus and how the Lord had spoken to Saul. Now, mind you, Barnabas was the dude that was released. And am I losing you, Tim?
No, I'm listening.
Barnabas, on the day that Jesus was sent to be crucified, was released. He also told them that Saul had preached boldly in the name of Jesus in Damascus. So Saul stayed with the apostles and went all around Jerusalem with them, preaching boldly in the name of the Lord. He debated with some Greek-speaking Jews, but they tried to murder him. When the believers heard about this, they took him down to Caesarea and sent him away to Tarsus, his hometown. The church then had peace throughout Judea, Galilee, and Samaria, and it became stronger as the believers lived in the fear of the Lord, and with the encouragement of the Holy Spirit, it grew in numbers. Now, I'm trying to get up to where Christ changed his name.
To Paul, I assume.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's
So
fun. Go ahead.
I'm not really finding it, but it was later. in the book that Saul became Paul.
Mm.
And I mean, it's just amazing how God can take a very screwed up sociopathic person
Mm-hmm.
to preaching his own name.
Definitely a narcissist and psychopath, for sure. For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was putting my house coat in. I know you can hear the beeping in your headset.
I can hear everything in fucking headphones. Yep.
Dude, these little things are cool as fuck, though. But it's just amazing that can happen.
Yeah. And Paul was the most persecuted, imprisoned, punished person of the disciples of Jesus, from what I know.
Yeah, I mean, Paul / Saul wrote Acts, Romans, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians.
Revelations, right?
No, that was
No? Okay.
that was John.
Okay.
Um,
Well, if you're sitting in prison, you got a lot of time on your hands. So, I mean, I'm sure you did.
right, and I'm Googling it now because I don't remember how many books it was. How many books did Paul write of the New Testament?
Quite a bit.
There are Romans, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, Philemon, Galatians, Philippians, 1 Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians, Ephesians, Colossians, 1 Timothy, 2 Timothy, and Titus, Titus was right before he was killed.
Jeez. Wow. What does that tell you?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That somebody who was murdering Christians, who was a sociopath and a narcissist.
Definitely narcissist, yeah. Psychopath, for sure.
Oh, definitely. I'm going sociopath at this point.
Well, for sure. Sociopath. It sounds like he didn't have any feelings or empathy and was all about power. So I don't know.
But here's my thing. I need caffeine. Sit in the kitchen. I'll go grab it here in a minute because it's the only thing that's keeping me awake. I mean, but here's my thing, man. You kill Christians. You're sought out to kill Christ, which is not going to happen because he's already dead. Well, he's not dead. He's already been resurrected at this point. And then you get blinded by Christ. That has to be scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It takes a traumatic person. It takes a traumatic event to turn someone into a sociopath.
Mm-hmm.
But then it has to be another traumatic event to bring you out of it.
Even more so, yeah. Right.
Yep. For like an addict, I'm comparing this back to addiction again because it's the greatest thing to compare it to.
Mm-hmm.
A traumatic event, like taken from my instance, being gang raped as a kid, turned me into an addict and alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
And then almost dying 6 times and not knowing how I'm still living.
Mm-hmm.
Brought me out of the depths of addiction. And then the same thing happening to Saul, just differently, not losing my sight, but losing my family and everything, and then coming to a new state and being baptized and joining a 12-step group. And
you know what, though? You just said something profound, and I've, after all the years that I've been through this kind of thing in research, you just hit something on the head, and I just identified it. What you're talking about, whether you're an addict, sociopath, psychopath, narcissist, or whatever, a traumatic experience changes you to that. At least let's just stick with the psychopath, a sociopath from a psychopath. But in order to go back to where you were, which they say is impossible, there's all these consequences. Well, if you keep doing this, and you say this to a sociopath, if you keep doing this and committing crimes and destroying people's lives, you're going to go to jail. You're going to go to prison. Those are consequences. They don't fucking care. Okay. Apparently what changes them back is a traumatic experience. Correct?
Correct.
So that's why all the therapy in the world, all the threats of going to prison, jail, this and that, they don't fucking care. It's got
no, they don't.
It's the only thing that's going to snap them back out of it is losing their eyesight and put into prison until another traumatic experience, which is regaining your sight again. So losing your sight and then getting your sight back. I mean, that would do it for me. So, yeah, if that don't wake you up, I don't know what would.
Right. And the one thing I want people to realize, it's not even just losing your physical eyesight.
Mm-hmm.
It's losing eyesight of the world. And when you become a sociopath, you lose touch with who you are.
You lose sight of, I mean, there's so many parables here. It's crazy, but yeah, right.
You lose sight of who you are. You lose sight of you lose sight for the decency of human life.
Yep.
Because let's just put it like this, and God, I need to go grab my fucking Mountain Dew, or I'm going to fall asleep on you, Jen. I don't want that to happen because we're having a really good conversation. But here's my thing. Like we have both said, and it's even been profound and showed, the only way that somebody can even gain that back is through God.
In a traumatic experience. But yeah, right. Yeah, agreed. I'm not going to. Well, let me tell you this. Let me tell you, Dwayne, if you relapse again, you're going to die or you're going to go to prison. And you'd be like, that's not going to stop me. But what if I told you, if you do that and pick up that needle again, you're going to lose your eyesight?
Would that stop me?
I don't know. Would it?
No.
Okay. So,
and here's the reason why. Sorry, I'm swallowing a piece of ice. So, the reason why, because I've already got my mind dead set. And God, I can't believe we're having this conversation on top of addiction, on top of sociopath, but this is fine.
it all connects. It doesn't matter.
Hey, it's one way of hell to talk about addiction at the same time. So
that's true.
So, and I mean, here's my thing. So I've got my mind set. I'm done. Fuck it.
Yeah, you've already done it. Yeah, I get it.
I've already mentally.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah, I get it.
As soon as I mentally relapse, like I did this week.
Done. Right. Yeah.
Tim, you called it out. It was actually not this week. It was last week. You called it out. You called the mental relapse out right at hand. Because it was either you or someone else said, I think it was both of you guys said, fuck it, you want to go get high? And guess what? Let's go together. And then you showed me that fucking book.
Outwitting the Devil, yep. Mm-hmm.
But, so I already mentally relapsed.
Yeah.
But when I'm mentally relapsing, here's the part people don't know. For us addicts who believe, is the devil no longer has just his foot in the door. The devil has his fucking whole body in there.
Mm-hmm.
Going like, I got you.
Pretty much.
And so when I go, so like this is why I'm not going back to my kids. Exactly why I'm not going back to my kid's birthday. A, because God made sure I would not have the finances for it. Number one. And number two, because if I would step foot back in Ohio and have to be around the people that I'm going to be around, it would stress me the fuck out. I would mentally relapse. I wouldn't call you. I wouldn't call Scarlett. I wouldn't call my sponsor. I would grab a needle, grab a tourniquet, buy $100 or $150 worth of heroin, put it all in a needle, buy a firearm, shoot up, load the gun, and bang.
Nice.
That would be my final. And I would probably be on the phone with my mother while I did it.
So what made you not do it? The consequences that may happen? Because I don't think that's it. You can do that anywhere.
Not just the consequences of what would happen, but the fact that my son would go through the same thing I fucking went through. Which
would be definitely a traumatic experience.
Exactly. My son no longer has a father. Some other man's going to try to raise him. And statistically proven.
Okay, so then here lies in our point again. It's not consequences. It's traumatic experience, whether you experience it or not, or someone close to you.
Exactly.
So it's all about traumatic experiences.
Exactly, which is why I'm not going to lie, give my son the opportunity to become a sociopath. I'm not going to open that door.
You would fuck that kid up like you would not believe.
Right. I'm not going to open that door for my son.
And you probably paved the way for him putting a gun to his head too, because dad did it. Now I know why he did it, so I'm going to do it. So, that's fucked up, man.
Exactly. And I'm going to be real with you guys. You know what almost turned me into a sociopath? And I'm not going to lie, there's been times that I've went down that road. But by the grace of God and counseling and everything, and the fact that I was in counseling, and I have people that can call it out. All of that, Verns. Good morning.
Don't do it.
I'm trying to quit smoking.
Yeah, okay. Got it.
So, yeah, trying to quit smoking, but
I can't do that shit. It gives me a head rush. Fucking.
This is what I'm using. Yeah, fucking pouches just full of tobacco, mate.
Yeah, well, it goes right into your bloodstream doing that.
What almost turned me into a sociopath, and a lot of people don't. Tim does. I haven't talked about it on there.
Okay.
Is my father committed suicide?
That'll do it.
My father.
Yeah.
Took his own life by a needle straight to the jugular vein.
Whoa.
Suicide by overdose. And I'm gonna get personal for a minute, Tim. We've already talked about this on here, so I'm gang raped by my father alone, put through doors, windows, walls, car windows, windshields, sold for drugs, prostituted, being told every day I was a piece of shit son, not knowing when I was going to get beat next, not knowing if opening the door when my dad was asleep in the living room coming out from school, if I was going to get raped. Having to sit down and watch porn, being forced to watch porn, being tied to a chair and watch my dad have sex with his girlfriend.
Oh, wow. That's fucked up. Okay.
My mom not being able to see me. My dad beating my mom in front of us as a kid. My dad refusing my mom to see me. CPS showing up at my door every week. Sheriff's Department showing up on the days that my dad wouldn't let me go see her for the weekend. The Sheriff's Department, a detective, CPS coming to my schools, having to get undressed in my school so they could so they could photograph bruises, marks.
Yeah.
And then at 11 years old, having to go see a doctor to make sure there was no damage on the outside of my back, outside of my ass. Having to have a colonoscopy done and be put under and being violated that way, having a camera shoved up into my colon. Turned around and being raped again. And this is the one that nobody knows about. I was yet again raped again after that and my addiction. Because I didn't have the money to buy drugs.
Oh, wow. That's rough.
I have so many reasons to become a sociopath. You still there, Tim?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, your camera froze. That's why I asked.
Can't do nothing about that.
I didn't know if I lost you.
Right.
But I've had so many reasons to become a sociopath. Tim, you losing everything because of your wife, your ex-wife, is a reason for is every reason that you could have became a sociopath.
Yeah. I'm not going to argue that. Yeah. Or blowing my brains out. Whatever. But yeah.
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another traumatic experience. Go ahead.
Yeah, any of us that have been through a traumatic experience, anybody that has went through a traumatic experience has had a reason to go to become a sociopath, because we're broken, we're destroyed. We don't know how to deal with the pain. So what is the thing we want to do? We want to hurt other people and not care how we do it.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm going to call it? I'm going to call it the Humpty Dumpty traumatic experience, because those pieces cannot put back together. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. Well, it's supposed to make you stronger. It's a way of learning. Go ahead.
No, you're right. It is a lot of learning.
Well,
but go ahead and say what you're going to say. My bad.
You either learn or you turn. That's a good saying. Get that on a bumper sticker.
You either learn or you turn. I mean, you're.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, you got a bandwidth issue, or your phone died. I don't know. Still thinking. I'm going to get coffee, and if he ain't back, I'm going to end the show. Hang on a minute. Yep. Okay. All right. So it's 5 a.m. anyway, 4:59. For some reason, I'm going to bed early, and then I'm getting up early. So this wasn't planned. And I just came on here. The show wasn't even planned. I just wanted to show my guitar. But then Dwayne and I had a phone conversation before I did that.
I knew that was going to fucking happen. As soon as your face froze, I knew my internet was about to go out.
Oh.
I mean, I knew my internet was going to go out. And you know what? And the greatest thing, because I don't know if she really explained the definition of a sociopath.
Yep.
Or what the definition was. I just love how I put definition and it says definition of a sociopath. A person with a personality disorder manifesting itself in extreme antisocial attitudes and behavior and a lack of conscience.
Yeah, no conscience. Yeah, right. Absolutely. Like she said, they make great assassins and kill you and not even fucking think twice about it.
Right, and here's what's common. There's more than 200,000 cases. Check this.
Okay.
More than 200,000 cases per year.
It's more than that. That's the ones that they find out about. They're very stealthy. I want to hear the new guitar. You do? Darren wants to hear the new guitar.
I want to hear it real quick because Facebook was being kind of weird with me.
Oh, okay.
Treatment can help, but this condition can't be cured. Requires a medical diagnosis, lab tests, or imaging not required. Chronic can last for years or be lifelong.
I will promise you it's at least double that, if not, I would say quadruple. Go ahead.
I was going to go 800,000 cases a year.
Yeah.
I would go 6,000 undiagnosed.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they're stealthy. You don't even know it's happening to you. It's intrinsic.
Exactly. You don't know what's fucking happening.
Yep. Again, it's on the equivalency of addiction. You don't understand what's happening to you until you're cooked.
Exactly.
Yep.
And this is where I'm going to go down a road that that me and Tim wanted to go down. We're not going to go into the whole road today. But it's been brought up several times. Look at an addict, right?
Yep.
You know what? Fuck the addict at this point. Not in that way. Look at a person who has been through the common core, the common denominator of this whole topic, traumatic experiences.
Mm-hmm.
They get introduced to something. It takes the pain away.
Mm-hmm.
They get hooked. Their bodies start going through what we call a chemical detox. Their body is dependent on it to stay alive. Or, Tim, why do us addicts use? So we don't feel.
Yeah, and you know what? Now I'm going to say this since you said that. I will bet you any amount of money there is no addicted sociopaths just because of what you just said.
I'll agree with that.
Because sociopaths don't feel. So if you don't feel, you don't feel pain. So there's no reason to make the pain go away. So you don't do drugs.
Or that's how sociopaths started out, was as an addict.
Again, it's a process. So that could have been the trauma that did turn them. Who knows? It's such mind fuckery. It really is.
It is. And Tim, you kept me away. You've kept me awake with this one because now I can't get it off my head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, smoke another one, asshole. Most addicts I know is so they don't feel the pain of trauma.
That's correct. That's it right
Correct. There. Darren, can you call into Podbean? Are you able to? Because I know Tim has his Podbean up.
He said it went down, but it's not showing on my end it's down. But Podbean's been really fucking goofy.
You know what I'm going to do with...
There's some comments in the chat room. Then I opened it. Somebody saying nobody can destroy me. Boy, I wish that were true. I'm not weak-minded. It has nothing to do with that. Yeah, see, this is fascinating because obviously people haven't experienced addiction, and I hope you never do. And you have not been a victim of a sociopath yet. You are defenseless.
Please don't. Yeah, no, you don't.
You won't even know what's happening to you. It's like, I'm never going to get surveyed by the FBI. You're not going to know. You're not going to know that's a ninja in your closet that's got paid 10 grand to fucking kill you. You're not going to know. I don't care how smart you are, how intuitive you are, how strong-minded you are. You will not even know. That's the whole purpose of this episode. Well, no, the whole purpose of the episode was to share my guitar. But then we got into this. And the whole purpose I'm sharing this, and Dwayne, I won't speak for him, but it's so
you can speak for me.
You have one up on this, because when it starts happening to you, if you listen to the doctor that I played on YouTube about this very thing and listen to my experience, you might save yourself, but you will not. You will not.
Keyword.
What?
Might.
Right. This is such mental warfare. This is the nuclear bomb of manipulation and mental abuse, mental warfare. It's like saying, oh, my house is strong enough to survive a nuclear war. Okay, sure it is.
Is it though?
Yeah, well, some people think so. I promise you, unless you're a sociopath yourself, because I think they could identify, like a thief knows a thief or whatever, you know what I mean? Another thief can recognize a thief without even talking to him or whatever. And there might be that type of identity bonding with sociopaths. I don't know. But unless you're a sociopath yourself, you're not going to see it coming.
Oh, fuck no. You're never going to fucking...
No.
I didn't see me becoming an addict.
You're not going to see it coming. And even if when it is happening, you're going to have your faith, trust, and everything in your livelihood in the hands of the people that are being used against you to go, oh, you know, that'll never happen to me because my wife will have my back, or my daughter will have my back, or my son will have my back, or whatever. No, my mom will have my back. My dad will have my back. No,
those people get turned against you.
Correct. But nobody believes that. They still don't believe it to this day.
I mean, here's my thing, and I'm going to say this. And this is going to hurt because this is going to go below the belt.
Don't kick me in the balls. I don't like that.
You don't have anybody now? You think you don't have anybody now?
Oh, yeah.
Wait till a sociopath.
You won't have anybody. You will not have anybody. Maybe your pet. That's it. Which I lost mine to cancer shortly after. But regardless, yeah, no. You will not have any close humans in your life left. Except a few. Maybe one. That's it, though. I had a friend.
I know.
What?
I know if a sociopath comes into my life, and there has been plenty, Tim, since we've been friends.
Mm-hmm. Mostly female.
I would have.
Hey, if you're batshit crazy, that's a prerequisite. So they got that by default. Sorry. Here comes Scarlett.
Oh no. Mm-hmm. I can already hear it now.
I told you, don't be talking about that shit on my network. You both are fired once again. Oh boy. Big trouble.
Well, she's gonna hear this. We're definitely in fucking trouble.
Big trouble. Whatever. I
mean, here's my thing. I don't know how I survived the sociopath. My ex is my son's mother. Kenzie. Sorry.
Allegedly. That's your opinion.
No, not allegedly, Tim. You even agreed that fucking...
You're saying it, not me. So I was told by my therapist in my situation. I didn't even know what the fuck it was. So, and I'm not going to go around diagnosing people, but I'll share diagnosis because it fucked up my life. And I still haven't even named the person, and I won't. So,
I mean, you have if it's went on your fist up.
What's that?
I mean, it will if it's went on your fist up.
Well, There's nothing I can say or do. It doesn't matter. I'm not doing this for my personal reasons. I'm doing it for people that are experiencing it, because I would have died or paid $1 million to hear something like this or what the doctor said, because you don't know what's happening to you. It's like a disease that you got inside and you know something's wrong, but nobody can diagnose you. But then by the time you're diagnosed, you're dead.
Yeah.
Or terminal. It's like a cancer. We can't figure out what's wrong with you. Well, I'm telling you, there's something wrong. And by the time they figure you got terminal cancer, God forbid, you're fucking dead. It's the same thing. It's exactly. I mean, I don't know what that's like, but I could imagine it's pretty close. But if I could watch somebody to prevent me from getting this cancer that somebody else got, I would give anything for that.
Right. And here's the thing, and I wish and I pray that I would have heeded and listened to what the AA meetings taught me, that I would go to and hear people share their experience, strength, and hope.
Yep.
That I would have never turned into an addict.
Probably not.
That I would have never turned into an alcoholic.
Probably not.
That I would have never put my son through 3 months of hell of his dad not being there.
I got to pee quick. Hang on.
No, you're going to go pee. I'll talk for a minute. Ooh. Hey, Benji, how you feeling? And here's my thing, guys, and I want to say this. If you think you're having sociopath tendencies, get help. Or if you think you have somebody in your life that has become a sociopath, get help. Because we are literally sitting here pointing out things to you that can describe a sociopath. We're not coming on air. We're not coming on air or anything to scare you guys. Okay, well, maybe I am.
I'm not. I'm trying to make people aware.
I'm not trying to scare people either. It was a joke.
No, I'm trying to make people aware. Go ahead.
Especially when I just had a friend and ruin a 4.5-year relationship because she didn't want to get honest and lied on me to two people that are really close to me. And this is how I know she's a fucking sociopath. Tried to turn two people that love and care about me a lot against me.
There you go. That's a fucking. Yep.
And they both looked at me and called me a fucking liar. They didn't call me a fucking liar, but that's how I'm looking at it. They both looked at me and called me a fucking liar, and I had to explain myself and redeem myself
because they believe the other person.
Well, they did for a minute.
Well, I know that's how powerful they are. Right? That boggles my mind. But go ahead. Come on.
And I gotta get a glass of water because I got this tobacco in my mouth. And fucking, dude, it's just so relentless of what a sociopath will go to, the extent they'll go to, just to fucking destroy someone's life. Benji, have you ever had a sociopath in your life? I don't think so.
Hey, Dwayne, listen to this. I want your feedback on this.
All right, throw it at me.
Okay, a person in the chat room saying, I feel like you're making excuses for your behavior. Okay. What if you were the problem, though? And you're the actual sociopath and borderline narcissist thinking everything is about you and it's against you.
Okay, so that was that directed towards me?
No, they were saying, well, I don't think this person is saying it directly to you or I. I think he's being he or she is being a generalization. Maybe, but it says, I feel like you're making excuses for your behavior. I don't have any behavior. See, this is, you know what? I would probably be saying the same shit if I hadn't experienced it. You cannot comprehend. I might as well be speaking Spanish, no offense, or German or Russian. And
no, don't even bring that language up. That might
I
be
know,
shot.
but I don't want to pick on anybody. Oh, how come you said something about Mexicans? I didn't. Okay, so whatever. Because that's what I'm going to hear. I might as well be speaking a foreign language because you are not understanding one word that's coming out of my mouth.
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna ask this.
My behavior. Yeah, raising kids, busting my ass, and giving people fucking jobs. That was my behavior.
So I'm gonna ask this question to this person. Is Podbean still up, Tim?
It says it is, so I don't know what they're talking about in the chat room. I have no fucking idea. I don't know.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring this up. Tim Can, he is now acting chair. I'm glad you changed your mind.
What?
Oh no, it's something for chapter. My bad.
Oh.
Thank you. So here's my thing. And I'm gonna ask this to the person in the chat room. Are you talking about a sociopathic? Are you talking about us experiencing a sociopath? Are you talking about us and our addiction? I'm going to ask this in two different questions, and I'm going to wait for a response because here's my thing, and I'm going to be blunt. I think your question is a little ignorant.
Well, it is because they obviously haven't experienced it. But go ahead.
Or because Darren, you're listening over here on YouTube, bud.
I'm telling you, it says we're live on Podbean and accountant. So
yeah, and I pop my phone on Podbean and it's still on.
Okay, good.
So Darren, it might just be you.
Yeah. All right.
So I'm gonna ask that question again because I'm trying not to be rude, but I might. So if I am, Tim, just check me on it. Your question is stupid as fuck. Because honestly, you're not paying attention.
I'll agree with the second part. Go ahead. Yeah.
You're not paying attention to a word that's coming out of her mouth.
No, not at all. No.
I've been technically talking to Tim since 2:30, 3 o'clock my time. Had an hour and 7-minute conversation on this subject. We've been talking technically about sociopaths for a week. Every time we've been on the phone. Why? Because we have World War III in the brink of our fucking hands. And how many times have we said?
And that's where it stemmed from. Putin. I call Putin a sociopath. I think he is. But go ahead. Yeah, right. That's where it stemmed from. Go ahead. Yep.
Sorry, I'm also trying to get this tobacco taste out of my mouth. It fucking sucks.
Well, don't fucking eat tobacco. Well, this tastes like shit just because it is shit. Don't fucking put it in your mouth.
Darren goes, LOL, head off. But here's my thing. You're not paying attention to the fucking word that we said.
No, not at all.
Me and Tim have both sat here and said that we've had an equal opportunity to become a fucking sociopath.
Yep.
I have proven biblically what a sociopath is. Biblically.
Mm-hmm.
Biblically, in that the fact of the fucking matter, you still don't want to pay attention.
No, and I'll be honest here. I've been called a narcissist. I've been called a lot of things. I've never been called a psychopath, and I've never been called a sociopath. I've been called a narcissist only because, and you can relate to this, Dwayne, because I always things into context from my perspective of what's happened to me, and that's misperceived as a narcissist. Oh, you're making it about you. No, that's what they teach you in the program. I can't sit here and talk about Dwayne and Dwayne's problems or anybody else in the chat room or anything, but I could talk about me and my experiences and share them. And that's misperceived as narcissism.
Right, because
So
the AA,
you're not listening to what I'm saying.
right, because the 12-step programs, when me and Tim talk about this shit, there is 3 things that we are to talk about and explain it in a way. What it was like, what happened, and what it's like now.
About you, though.
About us.
Yeah.
Not when I share my testimony or I lead it or I speak at an AA meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
We don't fucking sit there and go like, oh, well, this person's been through this. This person's been through this. The only time Tim has talked out of context of himself is on a show, and it was like 2-3 months ago when he cornered me in a wall because it had to fucking happen and hit me with shit. And it needed to happen. Only time Tim ever goes out of context is if he feels like he has to.
Yeah.
But he'll only do it with the people that he's close to.
Correct.
He won't do it with someone he does not know.
Nope.
He does not do it unless it's placed on his heart to fucking do it. So for all you Podbean motherfuckers that want to sit here and say, well, maybe you're the fucking problem, how about you take a seat and take your own fucking inventory?
Yeah, and I don't recall me or the doc. I'm not a doctor, but I don't recall you or I or the doctor in the YouTube video saying you have to be strong-minded to protect yourself from this. There is no protection.
No, there's not.
The only protection that you have is what you would assume by default is by the closest people to you, and that is going to be weaponized against you, and you're not even going to fucking know.
No, you're not.
This isn't a theory or a movie I watched. This is what I experienced. So to say, well, I'm strong-minded and all this kind of stuff, I can promise you right now, you are low-lying fruit. You will be destroyed without effort. It's not even going to be a challenge for a sociopath to destroy you.
Exactly.
I know, but nobody will believe that. Oh, that's much horseshit. Blah, blah. My wife would never. Oh my God. That's what I said. So I really can't blame this person for saying what they're saying. And I would say the same thing. I'm just being honest, because it's like, oh, there must be something fucked up with you, or you must have did something. I didn't do a fucking thing. And you have no idea, even till today and tomorrow, how much I beat myself up for taking accountability and responsibility for what's happened to me. But the only accountability and responsibility that I can have is I let these people into my life. That is the only mistake that I made.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. By the way, good morning, Pam.
Pamela, it's my birthday. Well, it's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow, but Facebook says it's today.
Yeah, because I fucked up.
Yeah, I fucked up. Yep. See, and if we were sociopaths or narcissists or psychopaths, those words would never come out of his mouth.
We wouldn't be on this. I wouldn't have this show if I was a sociopath or narcissist, because I could give 2 flying fucks about you. I
wouldn't be alive.
Well, I know, but the point is, you would be hearing my voice, because I don't care about it.
Right. And the fact is, when Tim does come on this show, and I'm going to back Tim full fucking 100%, because the only reason I'm even fucking friends with Tim is because the fact I met him through the network. I met him through the network, through a narcissist that we know. Oh my God. If she's watching the show, I feel bad. And Tim struck some comments. And also, I met him because I was bored and in a fucking lockdown.
Yep.
And oh, guess what? He cares about every single fuck. Even though he doesn't know you, he comes on here every day to give you guys advice.
Yeah. Based on my experience, if I don't know something, I'll say it. Like I just said, I've never been diagnosed with terminal cancer, so I can't comment on that. I can try to relate to it because my dad's going through stage 5 cancer right now, lung cancer. He's not terminal, but 10 years ago you were. So,
ooh.
Yeah, but I'm not going to comment on something I never experienced. That would be irresponsible and an asshole.
Right. Ooh, I see the guitar in here. I want to hear a little bit.
I don't know. Well, I was hoping you didn't because I want you to keep talking. So.
Well, and here's my fucking thing too. If we were sociopaths, and I'm gonna go back on the show, I would have never covered.
Go ahead.
I would have never covered 6 months of coronavirus and how to keep you guys safe.
Or the election, for that matter, because that wasn't political.
God, we were all up for fucking 90% of the fucking night. Fuck that night.
Yeah, I'd like my night back since they stole the election, but whatever.
And just speaking, we got to do one next year too. Be right. Oh, Tim, you better have either a bottle of Jack or some coffee sitting beside you for that night.
I'll take the coffee. I have a tendency to have a big mouth the more I drink.
We grow a set of balls when we drink.
And muscles, yeah. And knowledge. So
you're playing, dude. I'm listening.
I take it the sun's out. How's it sound, all right? Sound all right?
Yeah, it does. I'm going to mute myself so my voice ain't trying to come through.
I know, but I got to know. Because Darren wanted to hear it.
Sounds amazing.
Well, I'm going to share what I shared with you. Now, I've been playing guitar way too fucking long. And I don't know. I'll make it short. But everybody wants, like, oh, I want to play like Eddie Van Halen, so I'm going to buy a Van Halen guitar. That's not, it's not. I mean, that's a little part of it, but the sound comes from your fingers and the way you play. And some guy did a YouTube video saying, don't buy a guitar for its tone or how it sounds, because that's what your amplifier's for. And that is fucking wrong. So the first thing I do when I pick up a guitar is I feel the neck, and then, like, this one's not really that great for lap playing, but it's okay. The Strat's better for that because it's not, the curve's not deep enough to sit on your leg right. But yeah, but your tone comes from your finger, your heart, your soul, your fingers, and into the guitar and out of the amplifier. So don't buy a guitar that doesn't feel right and doesn't sound good to you, because you make a huge mistake.
Right.
And I could play this and I could pick up that checker and I'm gonna sound exactly the same.
Right. You know, and that's, and I'm gonna throw a piece of advice out there to you too. Mm-hmm. You know, so I'll do it after Tim plays, because I'll have Tim throw up a video for you guys. Not a video, but Tim knows how to get to it. But I'm going to piggyback off of Tim about something.
What?
No, play first.
I don't know. I'm just fucking around, man. I mean, and then I'll play something and people go, what'd you play? I go, I have no fucking idea. But it takes years to get to that level, if that's even a level.
Right.
See, I don't know what I played there. I don't really give a fuck. It's just what comes out. And then chords. Here's your G chord.
Right.
What?
Hey, Benji. I have a question for you. Can I see your guitar for like 10, 15 minutes? Yeah. See?
See? Look. Here's the guitar.
Right. And I'll show you guys something. Because since we're on this subject, and it's a really, really, really cool subject, I'm going to borrow my roommate's guitar for a second. As soon as I find his capo and everything. Okay, capo's there. I just need his pick, which is right there. No, don't. I don't want to remove Tim.
Remove me? Why?
No, I said I don't want to remove Tim.
Why?
Because I don't want to. And see, so here's the thing. I'm going to try to find a place to set my phone for a minute. I can't be really loud because I have people sleeping.
Well, then don't.
But
it's 6:30.
So,
fuck off.
Well, I got people who work midnights too.
Oh, well, never mind.
So when I play, so like Tim said, this doesn't really have the groove on the inside to put down on your lap.
Yeah, it fucking sucks.
Which I know you guys will be able to hear this, but this is literally it's all about the way you play. Mm-hmm. And unlike Tim is more of all up and down through this, but each person has their own style of playing.
Yep.
So mine is literally just I play. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I'll change tones or keys.
The capo, yeah.
Because it sounds pretty. Mm-hmm. It sounds nice.
Right.
And when I feel this, and this is a Yamaha.
It's a good guitar.
Now I literally just that's my style of playing, is not just any random strumming pattern. When I pick up my guitar, and I know the strumming pattern I'm going to go to because I've played it for so long, and you got to find the way that you play. Mm-hmm. You know, and I'll have Tim pull it up for you here in a minute. Tim, do you have access to YouTube, right?
I have what? YouTube?
You have access to, yeah. So here in a minute, I'll see if you can pull up the song that I put up so they can kind of hear. Because when you play, you're not just playing by heart, you're playing with emotion. Mm-hmm. And when I play, it's emotions. Like, this is what it would sound like if I would really hit my emotions right now, which I'll step outside for this one. For this one, if I really want to hit my emotions. Oh, shit.
Tweet, 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 tweet.
If I really, oh, shit. If I really want to hit my emotions right now, mm-hmm. I'm trying to put you guys to a spot where you won't fall. I'll break my new phone. I gotta get a different chair. One sec. You know what? I can even do you guys even one better. If I want to hit my emotions, this is what it would sound like. There's no consistency, which is fine. If people tell you you gotta have consistency when you play, no, the fuck you don't. I'll listen to Tim playing. There's no fucking consistency.
I try to play something different all the time because I don't want to be the same shit. And you
Right.
talk about emotions. When I play that thing, I want the most energy coming out of that as much as I can. That's what I'm trying to do.
And like I'm playing all the way down to fucking bottom fret. And this is how some motherfuckers write their songs.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll have Tim here in a minute play the video, but I also want to give you guys a short lesson real quick too, if that's all right with Tim.
No, lessons suck. They're boring. Go ahead.
When you play, I don't give a fuck who you are. The neck, the feeling of the neck, and the way it sounds matters. So if it sounded, and I'm going to tell you this, I'm just going to play, I'm going to try to fucking do a bar chord. I'm going to make it sound horrible on purpose. If it sounds like, oh fuck. If it sounds like fucking that,
Yeah, it's bad.
it's bad. But if I can sit here and go, and I can break out a fucking classic, you know, because that's a classic, Tim. I don't know if you realize that.
Mm-mm.
Here, hold on. Lightning crashes, her new mother cries. Her placenta falls to the floor. The confusion sets in before the doctor can even close the door. You never heard that song, Tim?
Oh, I know what it is. Yeah.
But all right, Tim, if you want to play that song real quick, just to kind of show people what emotions sound like.
What is it?
Look at my YouTube channel. Just type in Dwayne Lanham. Should be my previous video on there.
How you spell your last name?
LANHAM. Ham.
The Night Talk. Song title, Please Save Me. Is that it?
Yes. So I don't think you've listened to it.
No,
So
no.
before you play it, I'm going to explain it. So when you talk about emotions and shit in a song or while playing, this is what you hear. This is what you will hear. And the only reason that I was able to do any of that, I'm going to be honest, is because of Tim.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to give you credit for that.
Oh, thanks. You want me to play it?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
I don't wanna feel this pain I'm going through. It hurts inside, cry every night, and I reach out to you. I don't know who I am, don't know who I wanna be. I don't feel set free. I'm bound by these chains of everything. I'm just gonna run. Don't know why, don't know why I feel. Just wanna go away, back to yesterday. I'm so lost inside, I don't know why. Just wanna relive every moment with you. Don't know who I am, don't know what I wanna be. I am not set free, 'cause it hurts inside. Just wanna die. I don't wanna be here. Please save me. Please save me.
All right, Tim, you can pause it if you want to.
That's awesome, actually. Yeah, really good.
And the reason I had Tim play that is because that's how most artists literally come up with songs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not by just picking up a pen and pencil sometimes. Sometimes it's grabbing a guitar.
Yep.
Like, I know if Tim wanted to, I know he can.
Yep.
If Tim wanted to, with everything he has going on, he could pick one out and just start jamming. I know he has the ability to record it.
Yep.
He can make his own song.
Mm-hmm.
So don't let anybody discourage you from picking. Don't let anybody discourage you from picking up a guitar. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't write a song.
Yep. That's right. Okay. All right. Well, it's 5:45, and we've been bullshitting for what, 5 hours, something like that.
I was gonna still bullshit with you after we got off air.
Oh, well, I got to start getting ready for work. I don't mind talking to you when I'm doing that. But so anyway, Darren wants to know what strings I use. I usually use 9-gauge, but this guitar came with 10s. But I usually
How do they feel?
Well, they feel a little bit stiff and thick, but they're brand new and they're 10s. But I'm used to 9s. But that's what I use. And I usually use Slinky's nickel. I think they're nickel. Cobalt. So.
Diodario 8-gauge for me.
Yeah, 8s. Oh wow, that's pretty light. Okay. Huh?
No, 6 or 8. I think it's 6.
Okay.
No, or 4s. I think it's. Hold on, I'm gonna look.
Yeah, because you're going lighter and lighter. That's pretty light.
Hold on, I'm gonna go acoustic guitar strings because as soon as I see it, I'll fucking remember it off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's never too late to. I started playing at 27, so I mean, what was 27? 20? No, 24. Started playing at 24. I wish I would have started when I was a kid, actually, but whatever.
So the one that I use is 12 to 52 light balance tension nickel bronze, which is $11.99 a pack.
What's the gauge on them?
12 to 52.
I don't know what 52. That's 9s or 10s. I think those are 10s.
But they're light and balanced. Or I'll go. Hold on, let me filter these. Number of strings, 6. An acoustic guitar. So now, I'm sorry, since I did my filter on it, because this is right where I buy my shit from, is 10 to 47.
Okay.
And they're real comfortable.
What's the gauge of the string? The highest one or lowest one?
10 to 52.
10? You're using 10 then. Okay. All right.
Yeah, which are really light for an acoustic, actually.
Yeah, okay.
For an acoustic, that's really, really, really light.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, man, damn, this was more than you probably wanted to do today.
Well, I didn't plan on getting up at midnight, and then when I did, and then you saw I was on Facebook, I planned on having a couple cups of coffee and going back to bed. But it's too late for that now, so I'm gonna have to start getting ready for work.
God had different plans.
Apparently, but I passed out at 8 o'clock just from being tired. So whatever.
Yeah, I might not even call you. I might go to bed and then call you when I get up.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because fucking it's 6:49. Oh my God, I've been home since 2. Why am I not asleep?
Exactly. I know. Well, I'll be going to bed early again tonight for sure. But I'll come home and take a nap and try to get back into my sleep cycle, but whatever. All right. Well, you got any closing statements or comments or whatever about all this crap that we talked about? Or?
One, if you're struggling with addiction, please, 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 please do not hesitate to reach out to me. Let me find the chat and I will post my email address actually. Let me find it. Hold on. I think it's, you know, hold on. It's here in the, it's in banners. Hold on. I'll find it. Give me a second. I don't know my own fucking email. It's Dwayne at freedomrevolutionnetwork.com.
There we go.
If you guys are struggling with addiction, please do not be afraid to message me. Shoot me an email if you're struggling with addiction. I would actually love to sit down and talk with you. If you have me on Facebook, don't be afraid to reach out there. Whoa, no, stop it. Bad phone. And then if I can't help, I'll get you to Tim.
Yep.
But I'm out of here. I'll let you end this, Tim.
Okay. All
I
right.
love you, brother.
All right. Love you too. Thanks. All right. Well, so much for just coming on and showing my freaking guitar. But that's what happens. This not an episode turned into an episode. And again, it all stems from what's currently going on and discussions off the air. And then, of course, turns the discussions on the air. I'm just going to say this. I don't blame people. I'm way past that. I have no problem making people accountable for their actions, especially when it affects me. But blaming, no, I'm not blaming anybody for anything. And quite honestly, if I blame anybody, it's me. Because in the end, we are accountable for our actions. But when it comes to the topics that we talked about tonight, which ran into each other, but are similar but different: addiction, psychopaths, narcissism, sociopaths. The only protection that you have, or I have, from any of that is to not participate. Don't pick up the first drink. Don't pick up the first needle. Don't snort the first line. Don't let that person into your life. Don't let anybody into your life. Good luck on that one. And then you will be protected, because that's the only defense. Do not participate. Unfortunately, that's not life. First time you have too much to drink, do your first line of cocaine, first shot of heroin, crystal meth, whatever it is, it's too late. And you can blame the people that got you into it, shared it with you, introduced you to it. It's not going to do anything. You made the decision to put that shit into your body. That's it. That's the end of it. Again, the only defense out of all these topics is to not participate. But if you're going to use will power or mental power, or even the false assumption of the protection of the loved ones around you, anywhere from your parents to your wife to your kids to close friends, you are sadly mistaken, because they are going to fail you. And the similarities between addiction and being a victim of a sociopath is that people walk away from you. And I kind of understand the addiction thing because there's nothing you can do to help a person get out of addiction. It's on them. But when you're a victim of a sociopath or psychopath, that's not self-inflicted. But the result is the same. People abandon you. And I only bring up the subject. Well, it stemmed from me calling Putin a sociopath, which I think he is, by his behavior. And then that led into me and Dwayne talking about it. And then I said, well, I'm going to go on the show or do a show because he wanted to hear my guitar. And then the rest is the past fucking 3-4 hours. I would give anything to hear this episode. Here's my narcissism. I would give anything, misperceived, to hear this episode before I was destroyed by a sociopath. I would give anything. And at that time, I had plenty to give. I don't have anything anymore. I don't have my family. I don't have my pets. I don't have my best friend / wife, business partner, daughter, granddaughter, granddaughters. Not to the point, my mom, my dad, my sister, my material things. It's just junk. But I don't have my 2 houses. I don't have my business where I had a great livelihood and quality of life that I shared. I don't have employees that I also shared that with. I don't have customers that I did the best job I ever could to take care of them. I don't have any of that. And it was all stripped from me by the influence of a very sick person who can't be helped. And to this day is still in my family structure, which that's the person that should be alienated and confronted. But no, the person that's being done to is me. And I don't understand it. And I've confronted it. When I went and saw a therapist here last time I lived in Colorado, which is going on 1.5 years, 2 years ago, right before COVID, 2 years ago, I told him my story after an hour. And you know what he told me? He goes, Tim, don't be part of the circus. So I wrote my parents a letter and I said, as long as you keep associating with this person, I will not be associating with you. That has changed. I reconnected with my daughter, which is wonderful. But I'm still being punished by not going to my granddaughter's 16th birthday. And this person said that if I show up or invited, he will leave. So it continues. It's never going to end. The only way it'll end is if people confront this guy and throw him out of the fucking family. And I don't see that happening because he's got everybody fooled. And somehow, some way, to some certain level of degree, that I am guilty of what I've been accused of with no proof or evidence whatsoever, circumstantial. But the biggest, hardest thing that hurts the deepest and cuts the deepest is that these people let it happen because I was just there. And nobody came to my defense. Not a wife of 27 years, not my 2 kids I raised. Actually, I was in a battle with my daughter when I was going through my divorce with my wife, who just lost her goddamn mind. And to agree, so did I. But like I said, I didn't know what was happening. And she didn't either. She still doesn't. She still doesn't accept it because it's all an excuse. Like somebody said in the chat room, well, it sounds like you're just blaming other people. It's like, you know what? You can believe and perceive what you want. I am telling you, if and when you are a victim of a successful, mission accomplished sociopath, you are going to probably go insane. So let me save you a lot of pain. The only way you're going to know is if you listen to this fucking show in the beginning stages of it and listen to every single word in the doctor on YouTube, and or you go to a professional therapist. But I'm going to tell you something. There's still nothing you can do because the people that you stood in front of to protect are the ones that are going to take the knife and stab you in the back. And I know that is so hard to believe, but it is true. If you even make it, you got my respect because most people don't. This is such a heartbreaker and a traumatic event that it pretty much destroys you for the rest of your life. The level of betrayal is not even comprehensible. And I pray to God for your sake, you never fucking experience it. But anything that I shared on here, and there is even a little resemblance that raises your eyebrows, get to a therapist to confirm it. And confront people. But by the time somebody told me what was going on, which was my son, it was way too late. And then when I confronted my wife, she packed her shit and left and went to North Carolina to her parents' house. So that's how fucked up this stuff is. When somebody would say something about my wife or my friends, well, first of all, I would go, okay, let's get this person in the same room and let's talk about this. And then, of course, the person that's making the accusations, if they're normal, would retract because they're just trying to cause drama. But a normal person would say, hey, blankety blank saying this about you. And you're my wife, or you're my husband, or you're my daughter, or you're my son. And I think you should know. But nobody ever told me that. And that boggles my fucking mind to this day. But that's how good these people are. You don't even get the chance to be confronted, let alone defend yourself or explain yourself. You don't get it. By the time it's all out on the open, it's game over. And I made the mistake of letting this person into my life. And I made the mistake, if you want to call it that, to trust the people closest to me to defend me and confront me. And it never happened. And it turned into mutual self-destruction. And it continues to this day. And until this person's confronted and thrown out of the family, it's going to be this way till the day I die. And I don't want that for anybody. Work all your life and raise kids to the age of 58, which is tomorrow, and don't have a fucking thing to show for it because a sociopath made it his or her mission to destroy you because they get off on it. I hope you're happy. And when my wife at the time, ex-wife, uttered the words, I will defend this person at all costs, which was the sociopath, and said to me, to my face, I'm going to destroy you. Now, how can I blame somebody for that? That's called accountability. So whether you believe me or not, or you think I caused all these problems or anything else, just, you know what? The only way you're going to learn is to go through it. And I hope you don't. And if I were you, I would back up, listen to this episode as many times as it takes, look at yourself and look at the people you've let into your life and see if what happened to me is actually happening to you. Because trust is blind. They say love is blind. Trust is blind too. You're not going to see it. So say what you want about me. Call me anything you want. But you're going to be fucked sideways. And this is a warning and an attempt of an awakening for you to look and see who you surrounded yourself with, because those are the people that are going to destroy you. And that's all I got. So that's enough. I want to thank Dwayne for coming on. I want to thank everybody for listening, and the happy birthday wishes and all the other crap that you guys have said, positive and negative. You know, it's great. That's what this is all about. So, but in the end, you're going to be on your own. Unless you're fortunate enough to have friends like I do on this network and listeners and people that my circle keeps getting smaller. I just threw somebody out of it again today. I have boundaries, and if they keep getting hit, then you're gone. So it's sad, but it's the only way I can protect myself. And I've learned my lesson that if I look the other way, I mean, they say the definition of insanity is expecting the same results but repeating the same mistakes. Or expecting different results, but you're doing the same thing. I'm not doing the same thing again. I am going to be very, very, very specific in who comes into my life, and I let him in and stay. Because equity doesn't seem to matter. Not when you're trying to defend yourself against a sociopath. It doesn't matter. Take it for what it's worth. Call me what you want. I could really give two flying fucks what you think about me. What matters is what I think about you, because this destroys lives and families and generations. Because if you think that this isn't going to transfer into your kids and your grandkids and so on, it's just like racism. This dysfunctionality or the results or consequences or trauma from it will continue through generations. It has. I tried like hell to make my kids' life better, which I thought would go into my grandkids. And I let the wrong family and the wrong person in my life, and it fucked everything up, and it made it worse than when I was a kid. So go figure that out. And you want to blame me for blaming people? I blame myself. So take that and put it in your pipe and smoke it. Be very careful who you let into your life, because they probably will destroy you. They will destroy you if they're a sociopath, but they don't have good intentions. So use your gut. Pray for protection, because that's the only person that can protect you is God. But do not rely on the people that are around you, because they will be weaponized to destroy you, and you won't even see it coming. All right, that's it. I'm going to go. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks for sharing the show. Thanks for the happy birthdays and all that other stuff. Again, I really appreciate it. And you guys have a great day. You have been listening to the original Red Pill Show.